Letterpress is a very old form of printmaking. It was invented in like 1451. Traditionally, letterpress wasn't made for getting an impression in the paper, which is now the big feature that everyone wants. We've learned printing from a few different teachers who, they don't want the impression, like they're purists, and that's not like how it was supposed to be.
Traditionally, they wanted no impression. It was called a kiss impression. You couldn't tell that it was letterpress printed, but now seeing the impression is the only way that you can distinguish it from anything else. Yeah, well, it's not like you just put the paper like in the machine and just turn the button on and it just works all by itself. Like, you literally have to stand here or stand there or stand there. You're either hand feeding it or you're watching the press as it's feeding itself. There has to be a human there at all times. So it is very time intensive, very labor intensive, and very stressful because a lot of times it's just stuff does not work out. And you got a deadline and it's got to get done, and we'll be here like 1 o'clock in the morning trying to get something finished for somebody for the next day, and you go through way more paper than you should have, and the paper is not cheap. That's what we print from, or photopolymer plates. Once they're stuck to an aluminum base, they're type high. Normal lead type is already type high, so you can have whatever you want.
Once we get it on press, we have to set the roller height, so it's just inking the top parts of the plate and not the back of the plate. The press setup is kind of a big process with getting it aligned, getting it square on the press so it's printing on the piece of paper the same way every time, getting the roller height right, getting the packing right so there's enough impression in the paper. Depending on how long the print run is, that's really the bulk of the time, is getting it set up. And then because we're using really old machines, over the print run they can change, and you might have to reset the rollers, and you have to re-ink the press as you go and make sure that you have enough ink on the press or not too much. The presses don't actually use that much electricity either, so even though it is an old machine, it's semi-energy efficient.
And the paper cutter is hand-powered.
Yes, the paper cutter is hand-powered.
Uses zero electricity. It is not easy. So anybody that thinks it's easy, come on over and hang out here for a day.